Hi quilters, it's Margarita here with what I consider to be a sort of a safety video. Not really one of the fun ones, but really important. I watch a lot of video, I go to a lot of websites for quilting and try and participate as much as I can. And lately I'm seeing a lot of instances where people who are new to sewing and quilting are holding their rotary cutters in a way that is not recommended by the manufacturers. If you just bought a rotary cutter, or if you still have the packaging, or you can visit the manufacturer's website hopefully and see how they recommend that you hold the rotary cutter. This little video is about how I was taught to hold the rotary cutter and how I teach others, and I consider it to be incredibly important because it's a dangerous tool. And there have been many instances where quilters have hurt themselves, and not necessarily by holding it wrong. Accidents happen everywhere. But I mean, if you can just be that little bit extra careful by following the manufacturer's instructions for holding the rotary cutter that you use properly, you could hopefully save yourself from having an accident. So let me show you what I know so far, and if you've got some good tips, please share them in the comments. We could all use to be careful with all of our tools. So these are my cutters, and they're all this stick grip. I don't have any of the types of cutters. They make them now with like a handle grip, like a scissors, where you can actually put your whole set of fingers all the way through the grip and hold the cutter. That's going to have probably a different suggested manufacturer's way of holding it. But for these stick grips, every single one of them is going to have a set of ridges on either side, both sides. Right here, I'm rubbing my finger on them, and right here, I'm rubbing this finger on them. Let's take a look at what they look like. See those ridges? And let's flip it over, and there they are on the other side. That is for your index finger. So what I'm seeing is a lot of quilters, I see this in class and I'm starting to see it in videos now, they're holding their rotary cutter like this, and that is not the way it's intended to be held. This stick type, one long handle, is meant to be held like this, with this finger on these grips. Now that might seem scary. It seems like the first time I did it, I was like, my finger's awfully close to that blade. But what it actually does, and I've never, in 15 years, I've never cut myself, by holding it this way. What it does is it allows you to actually glide the cutter and hold it straight up and down, okay, so that you're not wobbling off to the side like this or off to the side like this. You're straight up and down, and it helps you push. You're always going to be pushing that cutter away from you, never bringing it towards you. If it feels like with your project that you should be cutting this way, turn your project. But don't ever bring one of these blades towards you. They're dangerous. They are very, very dangerous. This is a straight edge razor. And as beautiful as a tool that this can be for cutting layers and layers of fabric, it is a substantial danger in your home. If you have small children in your home, if you sew and quilt in an area where children are passing by, I really hope that you'll always remember to close the safety every single time you put this down. When I was taught quilting, my teacher made everybody pay. If they put their cutter down and the blade was exposed, you paid. And that was her way of making sure that when you're done making a cut, just like that, it's automatic. Close it, put it down. So the other thing you can do, I found these not too long ago, these great little plastic holders. And you just put your blade in. You can put it the other way too if you'd rather go like that. And they're really snug and not that easy to open. So if you've got little kids around, I really recommend you use the extra safety factor of having a little holder like this where they can't just get right in there. It's not that easy to open this. So please remember, any size cutter, as long as it has this type of a handle, there's going to be ridges. Let's look at these two. See the ridges on there? That's for your finger. So expose the blade, holding on to it, making your cut away from you, close the blade, and then set it down. If you'd like to watch some more video about quilting tools and things like that, Vanessa at the Crafty Gemini has a YouTube channel, and I will put that right over here, a link. So here we go. Let's see if I can get that right. Go take a look at Vanessa's video on tools and how she uses them. I think it's a really well-made video. Thanks so much for watching.